All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this morning on our Saturday morning coffee chat call. My name is Katie Metch. I am a double diamond, and I've been with It Works for 2 years now, and I'm from Wantage, New Jersey. I got started 2 years ago this month. I can't believe it. I heard about It Works from a family member. She introduced me to the cookie wrap thing, and I could not believe it unless I tried it. So I tried it. I was really skeptical. Didn't get great 45-minute results, but the next morning I woke up and my stomach was completely transformed. And I had been really sick with acid reflux, on a lot of medication, trying to lose weight, and nothing was working. And I was really, my self-esteem was awful, and I felt pretty terrible at the time. And I just remember being so excited that I was showing my belly to all the girls at work. I was working full-time in retail, full-time school, so I was just showing my results to everybody. I did not realize what I was doing. I had so many people that were interested, and the rest is history. I was able to leave my full-time job, and now I'm full-time at work. I was able to finish school with no interruptions as far as work, and I can work this around that, which was really great. So that's a little bit about me. I have an awesome co-host, Catherine. Were you able to join us? You might just have to hit *6 if you're here.
Here. I'm here.
I hear you.
Good morning.
Good morning. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes. Hi, everybody. I'm Catherine, and I have been with It Works for about 19 months, a little more than a year and a half, and I live in a small town called Allegan, Michigan, and I'm a mom of 4, and my husband is a full-time firefighter. Yes. I heard you telling your story. I love listening to how you got started with It Works, Katie.
Thank you. I'm so excited. We have some really awesome guests on the line with us today. Do you want to introduce your guests?
I do. I am super excited. I asked one of my good friends, Brandi Buskirk, to join us. Brandi is actually a childhood friend of mine. We officially met in first grade, so it's really fun. And she was one of the first people I contacted about this business. And I always love telling people she was one of the first people who told me no. And it kind of made me go, oh. But you know what? I kept asking, and eventually she gave in. And I love her story, and I love what she has going on with her team. She, if I were going to describe Brandi to everybody, she's like the sunshine in a room. When she walks in, she just brings so much vibrance, and she just makes people want to smile and hang out with her. And I know that that's part of why she's doing so amazing. And on top of that, she's a fantastic leader, and she has so much energy. I can't hardly keep up with her, but I'm really excited for her to share her story. So, Brandi, are you here?
I am. And how am I supposed to follow that? That was too sweet.
You just have to tell your story because it's so good.
Right. Well, like Catherine said, she approached me about the business, and I told her, no thank you. I don't want to be doing parties. I don't even know what multi-level marketing. I mean, I had an idea, but it wasn't something I was interested in. And so I just told her no thank you, and she kept asking. And I, at the time, had 3 kids under 5 and had started making green smoothies. I felt like I was living on coffee. I had never been a coffee drinker. I was just exhausted and just felt like I was kind of zombieing it through the day. And so I started making green smoothies at home, and I felt amazing. But they were expensive to make. We're in Michigan, so my produce was in and out of season. And obviously if I didn't have it, I couldn't make them. So I said, I don't want to join, but I'm really interested in these greens that you have. So I started taking the greens, and I felt really good. I felt amazing. I could tell a difference already, and it wasn't an unnatural, fake jittery energy. I just felt really good. And so I knew a lot of people that would want these, just the greens alone, not to mention the wrap. The wrap I actually did not get results in my first wrap, but on my second, third, got amazing results. So that's kind of how I got started.
Yes, and I remember going and wrapping you, Brandi, for the very first time, and us taking the wrap off, and you just kind of being like, you know, and I was like, trust me, let's give it 72 more hours, you know. But with your second wrap, you got fantastic results, didn't you?
Yes, and to be honest, I didn't take after pictures we took initial pictures when we took them off, and then I just forgot and did not take pictures, so I can't honestly say, but for me, looking, I said I didn't get results, but we know how that goes at parties, and then you show them the before and after, and they're like, oh, I did get results. Yeah. But then my second and third, as I took them off, I was like, wow. Like, I was amazed, at, you know, at the appearance of my skin, the texture of my skin. Like I said, I could definitely tell as I took them off. So I was like, wow, I know a lot of moms that are going to want this.
Yes. And Brandi, though you, like, even initially, even after you took that first wrap off or the second wrap off, you weren't 100% sold that you wanted to be a distributor. You weren't necessarily thinking, oh, I'm going to jump right into this business.
No. I said, you know, oh, yeah, I think I know some people that want to do this. And I was like, okay. And we had filled out my paperwork, but I don't remember what the holdup was. There was some kind of holdup, or for some reason we didn't put it in right away. And so then as Catherine contacted me, like, in the week, I was talking myself out of it all week long. I'm like, you know, I don't know if this is going to work, and, you know, I don't know what kind of investment I'm going to be making, and just every reason I could to talk myself out of it and back out. And so by the time Catherine came over, you'd given me the box of wraps, so that I was having to get together with family, and I wanted to have wraps that I could wrap people. And people weren't really interested at the time, and we were kind of busy at the get-together that we had, so I never got a wrap on anybody. So she was also coming over to get her wraps back. And so by the time she got there, I said, you know, I just don't know. And like I said, I was backing out. And she said, okay, well, that's fine. She's like, then I'll just get the wraps back from you, and you just be a loyal customer. You love the products, and, you know, we'll just take it from there. Well, I could not find the wraps for her anywhere. I thought I had put them in my top drawer, and I looked all through the house. She's driving over, and I'm, like, tearing my house apart. Like, where did these wraps go? So she gets there,
and Brandi's house is immaculate. So it's like if they're put somewhere, she put them somewhere. You know, like
yes. There's not many places to check. Like everything is in its place at my house. So I'm like, I can't find them. So I finally said to her, I'm like, well, I'll just write you a check for $99. Like I'll just buy the wraps. I'll find them eventually. They'll pop up. But so she said, Brandi, if you're gonna write me a check for $99, why don't you just join the business? You get that box of wraps anyways. And so I was like, yeah, why don't I? So I'm like, okay, let's do it. So she does, and then as she's leaving, I text her, and I'm like, do you think that I could not find those wraps because God wanted me to join and I wasn't going to? If I would have handed you your wraps and you would have left. So I'm like, I think this is totally meant to be, and it has been the best decision ever that I made.
It has been so much fun, and what has been really cool, because obviously, Brandi, you were so excited about the products right from the start, and so it wasn't hard for you to go out and tell people about the great results you were getting with the greens, and you were getting good results with the wrap, and you were trying other products, and you were just feeling really, really good, and you were telling everybody, and you were signing up loyal customers like every day. You'd be like, I got another loyal customer today, or I got 4 today. I'd be going, what is going on with this girl? But you hit a point where you were like, you know, I want to take this business to another level, and I'm really struggling to find people who want to join the business with me. And what did you recognize about yourself during that time?
Well, I like you said, I was finding loyal customers. I believed in the product. I could be passionate about the products, and people could see my passion about them, and it was, you know, truly honest. But yeah, I wanted to take it to another level, and I just decided to go to conference. Everyone said you need to go to conference. You know, if there's one thing I would share with people or tell people on my team to do was go to conference. So I thought, well, I'm going to conference. I'm going to see what this is all about. And so I went into conference. I think I had one. I was trying to think who was underneath me. I think I had 1, maybe 2 distributors underneath me at that time. And so went into conference and just left conference with my mind blown. Just left like, oh my gosh, could not believe the opportunity that we had in front of us. Just was on fire about the business, was super excited. And I had also talked to Cammie right before conference, and she said, I said, you know, I'm signing loyal customers up like crazy, and but I'm not signing distributors. And so she said, are you approaching them? She kind of went through, like, what I was doing and how I was approaching it to people. And she said, well, you're passionate about the products, and so you're signing loyal customers like crazy. Are you presenting the business? Well, when I left conference, I was so excited about the opportunity. I really realized the unique opportunity and the once-in-a-lifetime chance that we had and the momentum that the company was in. And I thought, I am not going to miss out on this momentum. Like, like Cammie says, it'll always be a household name because our products are amazing, but it's only going to grow this fast in, this once. This is only going to happen once. So I really left conference with that mindset, and I just got home and started signing distributors like crazy.
You did. I don't know how many distributors you signed from March or January to the end of March, but you basically built yourself to just a couple people away from the diamond level. And right now you're sitting those couple people away from the diamond level. You were an executive, I believe, at conference, or maybe Ruby.
Yes.
And
kind of like a manufactured Ruby, yeah.
Yeah. And so it's just been, people are understanding what you have going on, and they're seeing the passion in it. And you do such a great job of motivating people. And I'm seeing like the sky is the limit for you in your business. I'm just so excited to watch you do it. When Caity and I were trying to choose a guest, I was like, oh my goodness, I want to invite Brandi Buskirk on this call because she just is doing so amazing.
Oh, thanks. I'm super, excited about where things are going. And, I know when people ask me how long I've been in the business, I'm like, I don't really feel like it's fair to tell them how long because it was really after conference. Like I said, I was signing loyal customers, but it was really after conference that I decided to build my business. Mm-hmm. So, really that was last January. So really, 6 months. I'm like that. I really, like I said, I went in there having 1 or 2 distributors underneath me and have really built, I'm so close to diamond right now, have really built to diamond in the last few months.
Yes, that's amazing. Caity, what have you noticed as far as your team or people on your team and their experience with getting to, events like our conference or green carpet events or those types of things?
Oh, my goodness. Well, I know for me personally, conference changed my life. I went 2 years ago. I went down to conference. I was an executive. I had made it to Ruby, and so I was like somewhere between executive and Ruby. And I remember sitting at conference, and we actually won a lunch with Cammie. And Cammie Dempsey is the number 1 income earner in the company, or at the time she was. She's the top income earner. And I remember sitting in that room, and I think that it's funny because she probably won't even remember this, but we were sitting there, and out of nowhere, she just goes, I really just want to, spotlight 2 people that really inspire me. And I remember I looked up to her so much, and she turned to me, and she said, she picked me, and she started crying, and she was looking at me, and I do this business with my mom, which is really amazing. And she said, I just want my daughter to look at me the way your daughter looks at you. She's so proud. And I lost it, and I was so excited. And it wasn't even the event. The energy was amazing. Everything, the whole weekend was great. But for me, I had faith and I believed in myself when I left. Because I went there, I wasn't really too sure. I wasn't too sure if this was something for me because I'm young. I'm only in my 20s, and I thought, maybe this is just a mom's thing. And I remember I left there so on fire. I went diamond the next month in February. And it completely changed my business. And a few team members that I brought with me also, they also went diamond, and they grabbed a good bonus, which is expiring today, and it's a $10,000 bonus. So I know for me and my team, it's been absolutely amazing just to get to an event, just to fill yourself up, get excited, because that excitement catches like wildfire.
It does. And I really love that corporate doesn't just put one event out a year. They put us in a position where we can get involved in events pretty much once a month. We have, local events called One Team, One Mission that we can get involved in, and you can get that same energy, and you can, not talk to like that one person in the company who they fly all over the place to represent the business, but you're actually talking to people in your community who are doing really well and being successful with it works. And that just doesn't happen in normal companies. They usually just have an event here or there and will just fly big people into it. And these events are so amazing, and I think everybody should plug into one every time they have one near them. Don't you agree?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I know that, it's one of those things, and you have to just go just to get the vision of it. So absolutely, I definitely think that's important.
Yes, and I love that the name of those are One Team, One Mission, because we are all about working together. I love, Caity, that we get to do this call together, and we aren't even on the same team. And people will be like, oh, that's nice that they're on the same team and they can do this together, but we're not. Like, we've never even really officially met. And, and we still get to do these kinds of cool things.
Exactly. And speaking of which, we have two other awesome guests with us, Rob and Misti, and they are not on either one of our teams. I love that we do this all together. It's so much fun. I met Rob and Misti at a training here in New Jersey. They drove out from Pennsylvania, and Tammy came, and she did kind of like a One Team, One Mission training here. And I remember my mom and them had connected really well, and they came down, and we did a triple threat training, and I got to meet them and know them a little bit better, and they are just on fire for this business. They're so passionate. I love how their energy and their story. So, guys, are you still with me?
Yes,
we are. Thank you, Caity.
Welcome. Can you guys introduce yourselves and just talk a little bit about how you got started?
Yeah, absolutely. I heard you say 2 years this month. It actually, for me, is 3 years, and it's so crazy to think about how much our life has changed in 3 years. I saw this crazy rap thing on Facebook, and I was very skeptical. I was like, yeah, right. I saw Facebook was a little different then, so I was actually seeing people post on this fan page about the results, and I just couldn't believe it. And I watched it for about a month, and finally the person that really got my attention was the one who said it didn't work. And I watched the response. I said, did you drink your water? And that had me hooked because I'm a water drinker. You guys are drinking coffee or greens right now. I'm drinking water. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to try this. I was desperate. Mommy of 3. I have a set of twins, so they really killed my stomach. And I also was suffering with fibromyalgia at the time. And I was in pain a lot. And working out when you're in pain, well, it's just not really something you can do. So with all the weight I had gained, I decided I'm going to try it. I remember getting it and going, what did I waste my money on? We don't have money to be wasting. We were financially struggling, living on food stamps, struggling to just get by, pay the bills, struggling when it came that time of year to get your kids back to school shoes. And I just thought, what did I just do? But I was desperate. So I tried it, and I had results right away, and I just couldn't believe it. And about 72 hours later, I noticed my stretch marks looked different, and I thought, oh, my goodness, not only am I wearing capris I couldn't button just a couple days ago, but now my stretch marks are looking different. And I shared it on Facebook, and oh, my goodness, it just took off. Like, I didn't even have the money for the kit. Right now the kit is only $99. When I joined, it was $200 for my kit. I didn't have that money. I actually had friends who were like, what did you do? How much is it? Order me 1, order me 2. And that's really how I got started. I had people throwing money at me to get them robbed. And it's just so crazy to think, I promoted. At that time, we didn't have a good bonus, so it wasn't like, people were just kind of promoting and working, but they weren't trying to work for this huge, huge goal in 3 months. And so I made diamond in about 6 months and double diamond in 11. And I took Rob to an event. I had gone to conference. My first conference, there was about a little over 2,000 people, and it was so exciting. But Rob didn't go. He stayed home with the kids, and he was just like, this is your thing. You go do it, but I'll do my thing. I'm not interested. And when I went to Double Diamond, there was a green carpet, and I said, I want to take you. Let's go to Florida. Let's get some time for us and go to Florida and come to this event with me, watch me get my double diamond pin. And so he came, and I'll let him talk about that for a little bit.
Yeah, well, how can you say no to Florida, first of all, when you live in cold Pennsylvania, So I was all for it, just the Florida aspect of it. One of the reasons I ended up saying yes, because I heard a man on a call. She could never get me to listen to the calls, but I heard a man, she was smart enough to play it out loud, and I heard a man today. He's one of our closest friends, and he's a mentor of ours, Rusty Lack. He said he was at Works First Distributor. He said I could stop doing it Works right now, and I have enough money for my family to live the rest of our lives. And I was in the middle of making a bowl of cereal, trying to run back out the kitchen so she wouldn't ask me to join her team again or try to listen to a call, and that stopped me dead in my tracks. I almost dropped the bowl of cereal, and I said, what did he just say? Turn that up a little bit. He's got to be being paid to say that. That's not true. I just couldn't believe that. So then she turned it up. I listened, and I said, you know what, I'm going to listen again next Tuesday and see if I can find an inconsistency in his story. But every Tuesday his passion was the same, it's just amazing to see, what he's accomplished in the business. And now, I talk to him daily. I just talked to him before this call, so that inspired me to want to go down to Florida. So, we hopped on the plane, went down, and I had a unique opportunity most people will probably never have again. The company was smaller, so we took a tour of the smaller office, the older office they moved out of, and, so all of a sudden I find myself locked one-on-one in the office with the CEO of the company. It's just him, Misti, and I in there, and I'm just like, oh, what is this? I didn't even want to go in. His secretary said, no, you can't tell Mr. Pentecost, no, you have to go in. So I was like, all right, whatever, I'm going to shake his hand and run out of here. So as I'm shaking his hand, about to turn around and run out of there, she takes a moment and says, Mark, he sees me doing this, he supports me as far as taking care of the household, watch the kids or whatever while I go ahead and run out and do this business. And he likes the greens, but he will not have any part in this. And I couldn't, all of a sudden my hand was stuck. And I looked up, and Mark was smiling, but then he started frowning. And he was squeezing my hand, and I'm looking at him, and it's just an awkward silence. I'm not saying anything, but our eyes are talking to each other, and he's just frowning, and I'm looking at him like, let my hand go. I'm trying to take my hand back, and he pulls it closer, and he says, you're not leaving out of this office. You're not leaving Florida till you get more supportive, and I mean, by that I mean jump in this and join me in this. He was like, we're going big places, you don't want to miss it. He was like, do you remember that? They used to have green carpet on his golf course. So he said, you remember that golf course you was on last night? I was like, yeah. He said, I paid a few million cash for this because I like it. It's a hobby. And, that stopped me in my tracks right there. I said, what? And we talked a little more, and I'm just like, wow, this man spent millions of dollars cash on a hobby. That's not even his income, just millions cash on a hobby. And he was speaking the man language from then on for me. And, there was no way I could fly back here, keep listening to the broke people who, was telling me, because I was pretty much the first guy to get involved in this in the Pennsylvania area. So it was hard. It was really hard for me. I had what I thought was an excuse, and, so all the men joining our team today really don't have that excuse. I had that pressure on me. I had guys like, that's for women. You don't see no guys doing that. And, I had to stop listening to those broke people, but I flew back with a different mentality after, sitting with that man. And, that just goes to show us all who you surround yourself with.
I love it. And as a guy, I guess one of the things that I get is, like, do you rap people? Do you rap people as a man? Are women comfortable with you rapping them? And, like, how did you overcome that?
Well, it's all about how you make the – if I have to, I can do it, But Misti and I are together most of the time, so what I'm doing is training, some of the guys on our team at times and letting them know that if you feel uncomfortable about it, she's going to feel uncomfortable about it. And you're going to very well have women. There's one-on-one meetings I took with women because Misti was busy or something, and, I was open to rap them, and some of them just might not have felt comfortable, but I was open to it. So, what I then advise guys do is just you could stand on the other side of the door and just direct her on how to do it. You know, it's not like it doesn't have to go down. You know, there's other ways to get around that. You know, you can walk them through it on the other side of the door if they feel conscious, because a lot of times if that's the case, then the woman feels conscious about herself, and there's nothing you can do when a woman feels, you know, conscious about herself. So, you know, and then one thing I do, you know, I run man calls for the whole company once a month, every month, and, you know, I get, you know, some of the top leaders on there as men, and we talk as men, and women jump on and listen to, you know, a better way of how to reach different men and what different men do in the business. And we get guys on there, we inspire them. People have signed distributors on the spot, and, you know, that kind of started out as something just for our team, but you know, Quentin Conway, you know, he's one of the top 5 in the company, him and Lori. He started the man cave, and he heard the call that, you know, I did with the first man. It was Joe Dunn, you know, a guy on our team, Jay Miranda, and Josh Rankin, Sarah's husband. And, you know, that's how we rocked out the first call. He heard it. He was like, man, you know, I know you're doing this for your team, but, you know, it would really benefit if you do this for the whole company, you know. So that's what I've been doing ever since.
I love it. And I love that you guys do it together, because I know, you know, for us, I do also do this with my fiance. He is not very much of, I'm more of the face of our business, but he is behind the scenes. He's doing our Facebook page. He's not a very outgoing kind of guy, but Rob got him up talking in front of people with the microphone. So if he can do it, anybody can do it. Guys, do you have like one last tip, I guess, for somebody taking a look at us for the first time, maybe not too sure, or maybe somebody that just got started? What's something that you can say to them about the business?
Well, you know, our company has been around for 13 years, so this is not something that just popped up yesterday, and people are wanting these products, you know, and the thing is, the longer you wait, the more your friends, your family, the people in your community, they're going to find somebody else. People want what we have. Why not you? Why not you get out there, share these products with others? You know, they can become your customers, your distributors. You can make an income all while helping people. And, you know, it's just amazing to think of how many people, because, you know, I said yes, and Rob said yes, and even you guys, it's amazing to think just because we said yes, how many people's lives are either directly affected by us or indirectly, you know, with our whole teams. When I started in this business, I was pretty much a stay-at-home mom. I worked at a tanning salon one day a week. I wasn't even allowed to talk about the products. And it's just amazing to think how many people have joined us. And a lot of people are nervous or scared. Maybe they're scared to talk to people. Maybe they feel like they don't know enough people. But about 98% of our team is people that we did not know before it works. And I think that goes to show that as long as you are motivated to get out there and change your life and help change others' lives, amazing things are going to happen. So don't wait. Do not wait. We would still be struggling on food stamps if we waited.
And one thing I want to leave the people with, whoever's listening, fear. You know, we tend to have those fears in life sometimes, but you got to remember one thing, and, you know, a lot of you probably never even heard this before, but there's 2 fears that we're born with. The fear of a loud sound. You know, if you ever bang something around a baby, what do? They jump and they start crying or whatever. And the fear of falling down. You know, when a baby's learning to walk or whatever, because we've all been babies, of course, you know, when they're about to fall, you'll see their eyes get real big and they'll grab for something when they're learning how to walk. Those are the only 2 fears we're born with. So the fear of failure, the fear of trying something new, the fear of what your friends or your peers will say, you know, the fear of offering something that's never been seen before, doing something that's never been done before, all those fears you learn over your life. You know, those are not fears you were born with. They're not instinctive. You learned those. So what am I saying? They're not real. You know, the beautiful thing about fear is when you run towards it, it runs away. Fear is not real.
I love it. I love it, and I think that's so true. So thank you guys so much for sharing on today's call. I really appreciate it. Brandi, do you have one last tip that you want to leave people with today that you've learned through the business?
Yeah, I just think to believe in yourself, have confidence in yourself, and have confidence in the business. The business is real. It is a great, super opportunity, and just believe in the opportunity, believe in the people that are around you, surround yourself with people like-minded, and enjoy your ride.
I love it. Catherine, what about you? You got one last thing you want to leave everyone with?
You know what? We say it over and over and over again. Once you start, don't quit. I've talked to a few people in the last couple days who I've just said, give us 1 year to let this start making a huge impact in your family. Let's give it 5 years to create a whole new legacy. And when you put it in terms of 1 year and 5 years, it's so doable, and that's because it is. This is no joke. This is the real deal, and I love it.
Awesome. Now, guys, I want to just let you know today is the last day for the $10,000 good bonus. We have a really simple 3-step program in getting started. It's $99, as Misti had said, to get started in your own business. So get back with the person who invited you to this call. Ask them how you can get started today, because you do not want to miss this deadline, guys. It's been amazingly helpful to my family. I know a lot of other people on this call have also gotten those bonuses or have people on their teams that's gotten those bonuses, so they are doable. So we can all partner together. We are all one team. As you can see, we all work together, so you will not be in business alone. And I thank you guys so much for your time this morning. Enjoy your Saturday.
Thank you, Katie. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Happy Saturday.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks, you guys. Have a great weekend.
Bye, guys.